Uh, Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Yusuf, today and Celine for coordinating everything with me and all this. Let me briefly tell you about myself, my qualification, and our company, who we are, before we start. So my name is Arshad Khan, and I'm the owner and founder of Qualityspec Building Inspection. Qualityspec Building Inspection is almost 19 years old company. Let me tell you about my educational background. I'm a structural engineer by profession from Rutgers, New Jersey. I'm certified with NACI. Those who don't know, it's called National Association of Certified Home Inspector. It's a US chapter. I also a member with the Canadian chapter as well, OHI. I like personally NACI because they're more aggressive. Training and all the databases that they have. I did my all the training courses from Durham College, electrical, plumbing, all this because I was not aware of all these stuff. So I went to Durham College for 6 months and I got all my trade education from there. About Qualityspec, basically we have, like I said, an 19-year-old company. We have a professional website. All the information are there. Back 19 years back, it was important to have a website, but nowadays a lot of information out there. So technically, I don't know if people really go to the website anymore. But if you want to know about the price, stuff like that is still there. We send newsletters every month. So I'd like to request Yusuf to provide me all the realtors information, email addresses. These are good information. I put it together myself, and it's according to Steve. So you can share it with your clients as well. It's all free. And keep in mind, our business is all about marketing. This is a good reminder to just forward your clients to say, listen, it's all the fall on it, what needs to be done. So it's a good newsletters. You can share it with your clients. I check all the tools, you name it, drone, telescopic pole, for the roof inspection, all the CO detectors, gas detectors. Yeah, even I have with different electricity, she then compliant to worry about all the power lines. So they always ask the question. To keep in mind, in Toronto or in Germany, Ontario, there is a bylaw. Okay, so if a builder builds something, it has to be bylaw. So when they build a house close to the power line, they basically have a very basic bylaw. They have to be 40 to 50 feet away from that. And then the height, so the power lines are like 100 feet away from you. So when I put the EMF meter, trust me, your laptop is giving you more EMF waves than those power lines. Okay? So if you put where that is zero, your laptop gives you 4. Okay? So but again, a lot of people have these concerns. We're here to help. Also, like the gas detector, I try not to use these devices because we are not the experts. We don't start with knowledge, but by the time, a lot of times realtors, they get excited. They say, oh, my inspector has all the tools. Arshad, can you show it to him? The question is, if I haven't used this device for months, if I haven't turned on, for example, gas detector, if it's giving you a wrong reading, I mean, you're in a time. So we carry all the tools just to satisfy them, but you don't have to be really in those tools. Okay? So just keep in mind that while we're with a client, if we start maybe we don't go, just make sure that if I feel like it, I'll do it. Right? But other than that, it's dangerous. Okay? So yeah, so we have all the monitor phone from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you have any questions, you can call me even before and after the inspection. So I'm here for you. So any questions so far about myself or company? You good?
Yes.
Yes.
Arshad, right?
Yes.
Yes. You do also commercial?
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I can wait.
I have performed over 6,000, 7,000 residential and over 300 commercials. So what does that mean to you guys as inspector that you're dealing with? As a little broader knowledge because commercial is on big scale, different. So yes, I do commercial as well. I have done up to 75,000 square feet commercial projects.
One beauty.
Yeah, hotels, gas stations, triplets name. Okay?
I need you. You need me too.
Thank you. And before I start, I've been a business plan engineer. I know you guys work really hard. And I understand that. So while I'm doing inspection, I'm not there to scare the clients. Rather, I educate the clients. Okay? I understand using the right words is very important. We engineers, we understand what to use. And I've seen people out there, unfortunately, in the business. For example, if the roof is shot, they say, holy shit, the roof is shot. You're gonna replace it. So no, that's not the right way of doing it. The right way of doing it, that roof has reached to its expected lifespan, it needs replacement in their future. Okay, so you gotta educate the client. Okay. Any other questions before I start? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about KITEC. I'm sure you all guys heard about it. Okay, KITEC Plumbing is there. The presentation is basically not too long. It's to the point. You want to understand. You will keep the important things in mind. What to look for. Okay. Again, it's not your job. That's why we are here. So that's why I don't skip the questions. Okay. So I can use my. Okay. All right. So KITEC basically, so this is what it looks like. Probably you guys have seen it. Okay, it's a KITEC plumbing consists of a flexible aluminum pipe. So basically, inside is the aluminum, and outside basically plastic is called polyethylene. Okay, it was marketed as a cheaper installation and alternative to the copper. So basically, it's really flexible. Plumbers love them. You don't need to solder them. Just connect and keep going. Okay, so it's just to let you know what it is. So basically, plastic, and in the middle it's basically aluminum. Okay. So basically, it was installed between 1995 to 2007. So that's 12 years time in America and Canada with high-rise, single-family application for the in-floor and water and a hot water tank. So these are the applications it was used for. Okay, so when I go as inspector, the first thing, I'll also teach you down the road how to date a house. A lot of time I see realtors, they struggle finding the end of the house. So I'll teach you, if you're looking at me later on. So I'll teach you on that, what to look for. Okay, so this is the first thing I see, how old the house is. Once I know how it is built 1985 to 1995, I'll look for these things. Okay. And also I'll teach you here, you can also see things about where to look for quickly, okay? So KITEC basically was manufactured by IQI. IQI is the company, or you see all the plastic, which is PEX plumbing, used by the same company. Okay, so KITEC was certified at maximum temperature of 180 degrees Fahrenheit. It's better plumbing than the copper, okay? So normally a boiler is set to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the KITEC was more tested rigorously. So this is how it looks like. KITEC basically is a different color. So the orange, which is used for the hot, and the blue that was used for the cold. So that was pretty famous then. Okay, and also they use different colors: red, blue, gray, and white. Okay, so how you identify is the KITEC, because even though we have blue and we have red color plumbing nowadays, there are few ways of doing it. So all this, the pipe was marked with these brand names: KITEC, XPA, Endure Comfort, Curve, Plumberry, Amino Rate, KPC, and the CSA number. So if you look at here, XPA, okay, so that tells you at the joint of the P, so that's KITEC, okay. And also, sometimes they do say KITEC, okay? So again, I might not remember everything myself. So I have all these. So before I go, I just quickly take a look. So it reminds me what to look for, okay? So keep in mind, the color, mostly orange and blue, orange for the hot and blue for the cold. And XPA, if it says that, or KITEC, or any of these brand names, that means you have KITEC. Okay. So how to identify? Okay. So the best place to look near the hot water tank. Now let's get few slides here. So this is the place in the basement, normally you see it. Okay, so this is all KITEC Plumbing. Again, like I said, orange and blue, that's one place. The second place is underneath the sink. Okay, you'll see there as well. And the third is the sticker. You will see the sticker on the electrical panel. Okay, and it says the building has non-aquatic interior water pipe. It means we cannot ground high-tech electrical, sorry, ground to the pipe. It has to be grounded to your gas pipe now. Okay, so these are the areas that we look for. But like I said, for your knowledge, if you want to see where it is, you can go and take a look at these places. Okay, so hot water tank under the kitchen sink, bathroom, and electrical panel. So look at the bright yellow neon sign. Okay. So that's number one, number two. Now, what are the issues? Okay. Now, keep in mind, you will get insurance. Nowadays, every insurance company will giving insurance, but some insurance companies still they are hesitant. Okay. So, what was the problem? The problem there were two issues with these with these methods. So, number one was basically for reason identification. It was a corrosion that would occur on the brass elbow. Okay, so these identifications that is called, so it would rupture the elbow, and the second, the pipe was ruptured and leaking for some reason. Because I'll tell you why we don't know the reason. Because there was also then what's happening before the flood. Okay, so these were the two possible variations. So number one is the elbow, number two is the rupture. So that's why the insurance companies they worry about that stuff. Now, the cost to replace the KITEC plumbing, this is really number one issue there. Okay. Again, for the high-rise condos, so keep in mind roughly. I wrote this probably I would say a couple of years back, so prices went up for sure. So keep in mind, so the one bedroom, the replacing cost, I would say around 7,000 now. Okay. For the 2 bedroom, you're looking definitely more than 10, like 12, 13,000. And up to 3 bedrooms, you're looking 15,000. Okay, because they have to keep in mind, remove everything, the tiles, the plumbing, everything has to be redone. So keep in mind that the cost. Okay. Just the average, like I said, is more than now because everything. Okay. So another thing for you guys, for the realtors, that it's a liability, okay? Can expose the liability. Salespeople are required to take responsible steps to discover and disclose. You have to disclose that, okay? Like I said, all the areas that I showed you, go take a look. If you can find, if not, suspect it help. And also, it's a seller duty to disclose as well, because other than that, legal proceedings can go against them as well. But I don't expect the seller that they know all the information. No, because probably you're more knowledgeable than them. Okay. So just keep in mind, do your due diligence, make sure that it is present there, disclose it. So like I said, some insurance companies, they're not willing to write insurance. Some, but they will still do, but probably charge a little bit more. But currently there are more companies who write the policies. Okay. And all the big companies basically they do on their listing assessment, so they will also give it to you. Okay. But not every insurance company. Now, so there was a claim basically launched in 2011 in Canada against KITEC Plumbing. So basically, they set aside 135 million funds to give away those who were affected. Because it was settled outside the code, so we don't know the science why KITEC basically failed. We don't know anyway, so it's settled out of the code, and so we don't know the reason for that. Okay. So again, the last day was 2020. So now, even though if we find, you're not going to get anything. Okay. But before 2020, even 25 million was set aside for the people who were affected. So that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Yes,
Yes.
I love questions.
Yes.
Okay. So, Arshad, before I ask my question, I have 2 degrees. One is civil engineering, the other is hydraulics. So what you are talking about actually falls into my territory. So my questions, I didn't really pay attention because I'm a commercial guy. So either this KITEC being used in a property or not. And however, after listening to this, that actually some of the questions just came to me. And I was feel that these questions probably really helpful, to all the agents when they go to, residential dwelling units. The first one is that since you're talking about plumbing, and we know that the old construction, they all use copper, right? As yes, the copper, and the copper has a few questions. First, it's pretty noisy, so whenever you open the water,
And also the red light as well.
yeah. And the second, it causes condensation, right? And in different seasons. And the third is that it has very serious, we call water hammer. So that's why if you go to Home Depot, they have those kind of, they call pressure balance device. So that could solve it. And, yeah, and then hammers actually damage, for example, all the faucets. So after a few years use, start to leak, right? So so that's why years ago people started to, or we call it construct, the builders started to use those kind of.
The next one.
Yes, for all the new buildings, and it's quiet, right? It's quiet, and then also, but I don't know if it also avoid any condensation. This is my first question. Okay, and the second, you just show that the rupture means that either the materials, because it's still plastic, right? So either deterioration or aging, right? Or because of imbalance. So some of the plumbing system give like higher pressure, the water pressure, right? That's why I believe that we all have that question. If somebody was taking a shower and somebody was washing the dishes, then you're gonna hear your daughter yelling that, I am taking the shower, right? Is that right? Because the imbalance. Yes. So when it comes to this KITEC or this kind of material plumbing, with that we call mitigate the pressure issue, the condensation issue,
Okay, good question. Basically, pressure.
Third question, is it easy? Because in Toronto, we all know that most of the houses, they are heading into their 30, 40 years average, maybe over 60, 70%. So copper, the problem of copper is very difficult to replace. You cannot do it, not cannot, but you need skills to do DIY, right? I tried, but I failed. So forget it. So, yeah, I know, but sometimes just a small piece, right? So is it also easy to do DIY when it comes to this kind of thing?
Okay. I have a couple of questions. Number one, the last one I remember, DIY no, we should not be.
Okay.
Because it's easy plumbing for the plumber because you don't need to do soldering.
Yeah.
It's all plumbing, so you have to have proper tools and you should know how to use it. So don't do it, I would say not to. Second, the condensation. Condensation issue is less than the copper, okay, on these wax piping. And again, if we have those forms that we can buy Home Depot to remedy that, okay? Start with pressure. So pressure, this plumbing has nothing to do with pressure. This is the plumbing. Pressure is that what you're getting from the city. You can put a pressure relief valve. So for example, if you're getting more than
those kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So if you're getting more than 60 or 70 PSI, so that pressure relief valve will reduce the requirement. Okay. Other than that, copper has pro and cons, tax has pro. Okay. Copper also over the years, like you said, it rattles because of the pressure. And also the lamps, I've seen even in my house happen a few times. But like I say, you gotta live with it. They're all fixable. Okay, they're all fixable. But other than that, there's not much of a difference. It's still from the builder is still using copper. Okay, in the house. So I don't see tax go up, right? Although it's easier, it's cheaper. Okay, and it's better now as well. But it's still I see mix. So again, like I said, you're right. There's no end costs. Don't do DIY. If there's any problem, call them.
Okay, my last question.
Yes, sir.
Because of the old design, we know most of the builders, when they design this kind of plumbing system for the new house, mostly I feel that they didn't design it properly. So there were always some dead corner, right? Like if somebody doing this and you're gonna get no hot water, only cold in the middle of your shower.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to improve because we know, if I remember correct, that the water pressure that come into the house is 55. Yes. That's a standard, right? Yeah. And however, when come to my master bedroom shower, probably maybe less than half left. Is there any way that we could improve?
Yes. Well, if you have half a spot, okay. The question for the somebody in the shower is feeling from environment, right? Those relate to the fixture itself. Mm-hmm. So nowadays, all these fixtures, the newer fixtures, they have this temperature control now. So if you have the newer fixtures, you're not gonna have the issue. Now, the second, in order to increase, if you have a half-inch line, like all these escargot,
but the water pressure is not enough. Even you have the pressure balance device, but the water pressure is not enough.
How can you do that? Yeah. So what do you can do? So for the pressure, you can install a booster pump. If you have half-inch line, like all the older homes, escargot or marble, your main line is half-inch. You don't have that PSI. So yes, people had bathrooms over the years, pressure going to reduce. But with the 3/4 lines, we don't have much of the issue. But with a half-inch line, install the booster pump. Don't give me that PSI.
But would that also cause the risk of rupture?
No, no. Everything you can control. When they install the booster pump, you can give the required PSI. Keep that in mind that you have half-inch line. Again, plumber. Okay. Any other questions? It's basically installed by your main water shut. After that. Because your pressure is coming whenever it's low already. So after boosting pump, when you open any tap, it will turn on. How easy? Well, it's easy. It's just the money. Nice. Right? So roughly, I can say 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 6,000-7,000. Because they have to, if it's a bathroom, they could have a high. This is the cost. I think removing that would be a jump. Yes, sir. High-tech.
Is that a problem that we struggle, or is it with the house?
Single story room.
It was, yeah. And this was done in.
Yeah, 1985. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's the time. So you guys listening or buying, keep in mind, right? So you might have. And like I said, so this was only KITEC, but next time there is another issue with the older homes. So we will talk about the plumbing. We'll talk about how you guys heard about galvanized and cast iron plumbing. Okay, so that stuff, where they are, what needs to be done, asbestos, usually we are really high. all of that pretty stuff, aluminum wiring, copper tube wiring. So this is something I will talk about in detail when we speak now. Okay. Yes, sir. Sorry, do I do that? I'm the inspector, yes. I'm not a plumber. I know about it, but you know, I cannot do work, right? You have a question about plumbing? You might. Yes. Yeah. How old the building is, sir? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you know it was KITEC Plumbing? Do you know, remember? You don't remember? Yeah, well, normally, I think my KITEC Plumbing. I heard stories like that, because they had issues, right? They had issues, so yes, once by then, yes, you have to remove everything, right? So even like, it depends on the insurance company as well. The insurance company says, you have to remove, you have to remove. Yes, yes. Exactly. I thought yeah, that's 2020 was the last, year to play. And they set aside only 25 million, 100 million went to the lawyers. So, yeah, so it might be kind of, that's 2004, so it was between that. Yeah. You know what, honestly, everything is good, even the PEX is good as copper, copper is as good as PEX. It is just manufacturing fault can occur anytime, even with the copper. You will get any fault because of the shaking, because there could be anything. The pressure issue, like the pressure issue, it could be anything. So if you have a lot of pressure in your house, consider pressure relief valve. Okay, because everything nowadays we have remedy for things, right? So because, and if you feel rattling in the house, you have that issue. To fix it rather than you wait for, because and mostly those are soldered with copper. So that soldering deteriorates and really. Okay. So it depends on how it's different. They have to put that. To the bottom, yeah. Yeah. Well, see, the first thing is, you know, the judge is responsible for that, right? So. Well, it's the order building. Oh, then you're responsible. You know, it depends how old, you know. 14 or 7, you know what? It's not that old building, honestly. And you might not have, I think it was up to 2006, but it was banned, completely banned. You're talking about water leak or the sewer leak? Water leak. Okay. Then you know what? It could be steel. Normally they use steel. The building. Like I said, it could be any manufacturing fault, honestly, or a backdrop. You know what? Because for example, I'm here. This is the third floor, so I will check the plumbing because we don't know the underneath the plumbing because we don't have the basement. So whatever, if there's any leak, that's certificate will show you that. Okay, so I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the stick, and then I have a thermal imaging camera, so I'll scan the ceiling. If anything is leaking from the top, I'll get it. Okay. Right? If something is ongoing, I'll scan the whole ceiling of the apartment, but underneath the floor, I don't know. Right? Because the top, You don't know it. If your techniques, you would hear from the management, right? So you gotta fix it. So that would be a status certificate, but the rest, who's that? The rest I can tell if there's anything from the top. Okay. Unless something is not in front of you, that's okay.
Okay, since I just saw you that, they mentioned about a couple of years ago, if a one-bedroom condo want to replace with this KITEC, right? KITEC plumbing systems will cost about 1,200, maybe 1,200, and so most of the old house, new house, I don't know, people won't touch it, right? But the old house, just like I said, they have the noise problem because it's very noisy, right? And so if people really interested to replace to such a rubber system, plumbing system, for example, like a 4 bedrooms, about 3,000 square feet, and plus the basement, do you have any idea about what would be the replacement cost? And also, how much time?
Good question. Honestly, like I said, I'm not a plumber, so I never came across with this kind of estimate. But my roughly idea would be it's 2-story house, and you have 3 bathrooms up there, one first floor, and basically you don't worry about it. You're talking about, it's not the plumbing, it's just the ripping the walls and where you're going through. You're looking 20,000 plus. Easy. I would say more than that. Right? It all depends.
I believe more than that.
That doesn't say exactly.
That's kind of the total renovation. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So definitely gotta be more than that. Depends where the pipes are going out, right? So once they start ripping the drywall, doing everything, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm just, I might be wrong, but I would say keep in mind between 20 to 40.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Did you mention how much or how do you charge based on
That's good one.
I know it could be secret, but
Absolutely. It all depends nowadays where the house is. For example, if I live in Durham, if the house is in Scarborough or Durham, or the house is in Milton, right? So the travel time, gas is expensive. I don't have an electric car. So it all depends on how big the house is. If it's 2,000 or 3,000, so more about more room, more responsibility. But our basic price is from 350 to 450. Okay, including tax.
I recently come across this situations that they got an inspector come in and check on the property of them purchasing rather than the claim. The property is about 6.25 million. They did the entire house inspection, but then somewhat after a month or so, there's a leakage from the property, so that actually going to the I think it's drain or I don't know, the crack on the wall or even the interlock at the front door, all the way to the courtroom. The water dripping is very small, but then it's cumulative, like for a long time, it's actually going up for a few inch. So the client comes back and say, you know what, let's go after it. It's very effective.
Yeah.
And I sort of, stop from her to do that, even though like I got that inspector come in, I just feel like what's the best way you can share your experience on this, like how we can avoid or when this thing happens, how we can deal with our clients instead.
Yeah, good question. A very difficult thing. Now, keep in mind, even you should be educated in your clients. Inspection is not invasive. Okay, we're not doing drills and holes, we're not removing, we're not supposed to do it, right? So, even that's by code of conduct and ethics by not you. So what we're doing basically, we're doing everything visual. We are not forging colors. We cannot, I can't even tell about my house what's gonna happen tomorrow, okay? But there are due diligences. So for example, if the shingles are older, okay, it more depends what kind of shingles you have. If it's like 17, 18 years old, you expect a leak because what happens, sometimes shingles are lifted. The gaps are increased. There could be minor thing, water content. Okay, and this is something normally all the restrictions in the water, don't read it. It's all there. These are the standards. Okay, client expect a lot. They think that inspector should tell me what can happen tomorrow. But tell them, citizen, there are certain things that could be overlooked. That's a different thing. But there's certain things that also aid is affected. If same thing with the furnace. If the furnace is over 80, 90 years, I think, even though it's not failing or it's working when they have inspection, when we say the life expectancy is delayed between 20, 25, 30 years, and it's the heat insurance plan for that. So if in case something happens, same thing with the roof. If the roof is leaking, your roof is older. Okay, if the inspector is mentioning the roof is for 15 years, if you read all the conditions, stuff like that, it's there. We cannot tell how it's going to react in the future. But clients, I don't, yes, they expect a lot, and even they tell you, listen, why are the inspectors in trouble? I wish we knew. So these are the things, honestly, very hard to predict. But yes, we know how old it is and how it's going to react to it.
Thank you. Next question is, you was mentioning something about old houses, and it's a question in my head. Pre-sale inspection. Like, prior to selling properties, I assume you've done a lot of work. What kind of situations that we can suggest or advise our clients that we've got to go through that? It's like, this is suggestion. I know obviously 100 years old house, we're definitely gonna go through that. But is there a better way that we can, yes, advise?
Good question. So for example, you're selling a house, which is over 40 years old. Okay. Now, nobody knows the condition of the attic. Let's start from the attic. What if you have a mold in the attic? So you don't know. You listen to the house. The buyer is coming with their inspector, and now they're telling you, oh, you got a lot of mold. Give me $10,000. So rather than negotiating all this, so this is your opportunity before you list the house, you fix that. Number one. Number two, if you have vermiculite in your attic, there's got to be a question mark. Test it. It's going to cost you $400 and give the report because vermiculite removal costs you $11,000 to $12,000. So you have vermiculite insulation. Next presentation, I'll talk about. I'll tell you the fixes as well. So they will play on you again. They'll say, oh, you got vermiculite. Now give me $11,000. You don't touch it. If it's point less than 1%, EPA says don't worry about it. Environmental protection, right? So now you don't know, they probably know they're gonna play with you. Same thing if you have aluminum wire. Same thing, what you can do, go ahead, call an electrician and have a certificate from it, right? Because you will take a look, if anything, like for example, your wires they are heating at the electrical panel, or you need antioxidant base, or you need thick skeleton. Before their inspector find out if they play on price group. Same thing if you have asbestos tile. If you have any leak issue that you don't know, sometimes the leak is happening on the second floor, and you don't know that the leak is there. Somebody has to tell you before they pick up, you pick up, fix it. So there are lots of other stuff, right? So you fix it before you put it on the market, and it delays your closing or your deal. You fix it and you give them everything ready. Yes, sir.
When it comes to mold, right? You know, I know sometimes you don't have proper what is it, like identification in the house basement, in the house, right? Maybe in the old room or wherever you start getting mold out there, right? What is the liability to the homeowner that has that?
Yeah, okay. Well, basically, mold is everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's a moisture, even the mold spores are here in the air.
Yes.
So if you make this drywall wet, within 24 hours, you'll see black spots. Now, how is the system people don't understand? We bathe, we cook, we all these things, and in the winter time, we don't open the windows. If you think, if I'm gonna open the window, I'm gonna just lose all this heat, oh my God, my bill's gonna go high. No, you have to, when you cook, your fan should be running. When you take a shower, your fan should be running at least half an hour. Open the window when you cook. The outside winter, the air is dry, gonna come in, grab the moisture. You are the one who creating this moisture at the mold. Now, if you're allergic to mold, which a lot of people don't know, you're gonna be having a miserable life. So removing mold is easy. If it's on the drywall, replace the drywall. If it's on the attic sheathing, treat it, okay? If it's in the cold room, wash it. On the concrete, just wash it. There's a lot of material out there, okay? So if you're not allergic to it, for example, you're gonna be okay, but if you're allergic to it, honestly, they're gonna hurt you. So you should not have more, and then you're the one who's causing the more because of all the moisture.
Right, right. So let's say you sell your house and then the people that move in, later on, they start seeing more.
It's not your problem. Okay, we can see that they can bring the inspector. We have tools. We have permanent link cameras. We don't own the fixtures. So basically, we don't worry about the indoor humidity. Okay. But if I don't see physical more can grow within 24 hours. Okay. If I don't see a physical sign, it's not really a problem. It could be their problem. All right. Anybody else? I like it. I mean, this is so far so many questions that you want to. All right, great. Thank you so much. I think it's very informative. Definitely, because last week was one question that because I should please share your contact information and you know what your contact. Yes,
Notes? Yeah. Here, put out the holidays.
Save it. For next time, I guess probably after probably next year, whenever I would say probably January is a good time. We're not that busy, so if just pass the outline, there's very good information about insurance issues with older homes. So let's talk about when you buy now and you're able to go into them, you get from the high,